In today's video lesson, we're going to look at our last module for volume, and we're going to find volume of cylinders. So all along we've been using this formula here, right? Volume equals the area of the base times height. And so we can use this formula too, and the only difference between finding the volume of cylinders and triangular prisms and rectangular prisms is the area of the base changes. Right, so how do we find the area of the base of a circle that has a circle? Yeah, if you remember from your area unit, the area of a circle is pi times r squared. So that's our area of the base, and then we have to multiply it by height too, because remember we're measuring something in 3 different directions for volume. Another way to write this formula is pi times r, which is the radius, times r again, and then finally times height. The last thing I want to remind you about is we're using radius to find the area of our base, but sometimes the formula gives you diameter. So in this picture here, it shows that the diameter is from one side right to the other through the middle. So if you're given the diameter, or d, then you'll have to divide that by 2 to get the radius, because the radius is half of a diameter. So question number 1 says, determine the volume of this cylinder. So first let's think about the formula that we're going to use. We have here volume equals the area of the base times the height. And if our base is circular, like we see here, we've got a circular base, how do we find the area of that base? Well, we're going to use pi times r, or r squared, and then finally times height. Alright, so what is r? Yeah, r is over here. R is 14, so it's going to be 14 times 14. And what is our height? Yeah, 12 centimeters. So we're going to times that by 12. Okay, pi is just a number, right? And it's 3.14 and then a bunch of other digits, but usually we just use 3.14 times 14 times 14 times 12. So let's put that in our calculator to find the answer. So our answer is 7,385.28, and what's our units? Yep, centimeters cubed. Question number 2. Elena is at the movie theaters and she has 2 options for popcorn, and both sizes of the popcorn are the same price, but she wants to find out which size will give her more popcorn. So what we're going to do is find the volume of each size, the jumbo and the popcorn lover size, and see which volume has more. So let's go ahead and write our formula. So volume of a cylinder equals pi times the radius again times the height. And if we look at the problem here, it gives us the diameters, right? So we're going to have to divide these numbers by 2 to get the radius. So the radius of the jumbo is 10, and the radius of the popcorn lovers is half of 30, which is 15. Okay, so let's start with the jumbo size first. Alright, so we've got pi times, what's the radius? Yeah, 10 times 10 again, don't forget to multiply twice, and times the height, which is 40. So if we put that in our calculator, we're going to get 12,560 centimeters cubed of popcorn. And then if we do the other size, the popcorn lovers, so pi, or 3.14, times 15 times 15 again, because that's our radius, and times the height. All right, and that one, I just put it in my calculator, gives me 14,130 centimeters cubed. So our popcorn lever size is larger, so that's going to give us the most volume, or the most popcorn. All right, our last example, example number 3, reads, Michael and Scott are designing a culvert to run under Route 2. The water will move through the green part that's shown in the diagram here, and the yellow, this part, will be made out of concrete. So how much concrete will they need to make the culvert? So let's think about how we're going to approach the problem. We have this box here, right? And the concrete will only be the yellow, right? This green part is going to be empty. So if we want only the yellow part, what are we going to do? Yeah, so we're going to find the volume of the box, right, minus the volume of the cylinder. So let's go ahead and try that. So we're going to find the volume of the box minus the volume of the cylinder. So let's find the box first. So our formula is volume equals the base area times the height. So our base area, well, area of a rectangle is length times width, so 2 times 2. And then the height of that box, even though it's laying down, is 15. All right, so 4 times 15 is 60. Oh, we're using meters this time, so it's meters cubed. And finally, let's find the volume of the cylinder. So let's write down our formula. Volume equals pi times r times h. Okay, so pi is a number, 3.14. What's our radius? Yeah, well, it gives us the diameter, which is 1. So we can use the radius as 0.5. Oh, that doesn't look like a 5. There we go. So 0.5 times 0.5 times the height, which is also 15. Okay, so we've got 3.14 times 0.5 times 0.5 times 15. So that gives us 11.775 meters cubed. So the last part we need to do is take the volume of the box and minus it from the volume of the cylinder. So let's do that now. Alright, so the volume of our box was 60 meters cubed, and the volume of the cylinder was 11.775 meters cubed. And when you subtract those, you're going to get a final answer of 48.225 meters cubed, or we can say that's about 49 meters cubed. So that's how much concrete that they would need to buy in order to make that culvert. And that's all we have for our volume unit. So we're going to review volume of rectangular prisms, triangular prisms, and cylinders in class tomorrow.